Okay, so today's tomato review is going to be on the red cherry pear tomato. Alright, so I've done a lot of videos in the past on the yellow cherry pear tomato, but this is the red version, and it is slightly different. It does grow a little bit different than the other tomato, the standard yellow type of light bulb tomato, if you want to call it that, and they do grow a little different. These are more of a wider bottom. If you can see that bottom on there, it's more of a round light bulb shape, so to speak. Whereas the yellow ones tend to be more of like a teardrop. But these get a lot larger on the bottom end of it. And I got one cut in half this way. And you can see it's bi-chambered. Okay, you see how the seeds are. Here's the bottom. Okay. And I also cut one open this way, so you can see what it looks like sideways. And generally it has the two chambers in it. And so let's take a closer look at the rind. And you can see some kind of wilding in the rind. If you look really close, you see like a neon yellow stripe into the rind part of it, and then in the center part here you could kind of see like the meaty parts got different spots and stuff on it. So I would imagine this is an heirloom. In fact, if I remember correctly, this is the first heirloom tomato that was introduced into the United States. It's the oldest heirloom there is, this tomato right here, if I'm not mistaken. I'll leave any information I have on it in a description. You can read about it. But if I'm not mistaken, this is the oldest heirloom in the United States. I don't know about other countries, but this is the oldest one. This is the first one that's been brought or recorded as an heirloom tomato. And this, we're talking all the way back in either the late 1700s or early to mid 1800s. Somewhere in that range. It goes back that far. So this is one of the oldest heirlooms there is. So keep that in mind. That's a classic tomato. Everybody should be growing these just simply for the historical purposes. But that's a beautiful shaped tomato. I really love these tomatoes. I like snacking on these way more than the yellow ones. These taste so much more better. Some years they're off. You do get your years where the flavor is off, and that might be because of disease in the plant, or it could be the soil's something wrong with the soil. It could be the water you're watering it with, you know, because a lot of times they put additives in your water supply that you don't know about, and then one year you're watering your plants with it, and everything seems to be wrong. Like the flavor isn't right, the plant isn't growing right. It's because they added chemicals to your water supply, and you don't know about it. It could be a phosphate eliminator or something like that, or there's all kinds of stuff they add to water supplies. So be real careful with using your city water if you're not really that sure about it. Just keep that in mind. That can offset the flavor quite a bit. And also your pH too. If your water is very alkali and your soil tends to be low in pH, you're going up with the pH, you're going down, up and then down, up and down. And that really messes with the tomato, the flavor, the way it develops. Keep that in mind. You're going to get off years with your tomatoes. Nobody's perfect. But nevertheless, this tomato grows really good. It's a heavy producing tomato. I usually look forward to growing these tomatoes. I only grew one plant out of this year, and that plant ended up getting sick for the most part, so I only got a few tomatoes. But I'm going to save seeds from these. I'll regrow them next year, and hopefully they'll be stronger and they'll be able to fight off whatever disease. But this tomato is absolutely a delicious little snacking tomato, and we're going to taste test that right now. All right, just want to give you one good look at it. Let's take a bite. This is a perfect tomato to cut in half and throw in your salads. You can also take this tomato when you're making your shish kebabs. I like to take these and shish, like you cook your meats first, then pull your meats off, then put on a piece of garlic, a piece of onion, a piece of chive, a piece of this, a piece of that, whatever you want, then another piece of meat. In between that, I like to throw 1 or 2 of these tomatoes in there. And just, you know, you cook the other stuff first, but you put this, you take that stuff off, and then you re-put everything back on with a tomato in between it. Don't cut them in half, just put them less like that. And then as you're eating off the shish kebab, or, you know, if you like to, you know, pull the skew out and then put everything on a plate, everything's cooked for you. Tomato gets slightly cooked. Everything's delicious. These go really good that way. I like doing that with these little red tomatoes. Also, they do make a pretty good sauce. I have made sauce with these already. They make pretty good sauce. I wouldn't make gallons of sauce with it, but for like a quick spaghetti, like dinner you're going to make that night, you just want to make some pasta noodles, and you want to use your tomatoes. This tomato is fine to use that with. They work really good. Now, this year the skins were a little tough on it. Normally they're not that tough, but this year they were a little tough. So that could just be because, like I said, the plant got sick and most of the tomato plant died. And I didn't get too much more than what you see here as far as these go. But normally this plant will produce hundreds upon hundreds of these tomatoes. So next year I'll grow more of these in a whole patch by itself. Hopefully I won't have any problems. But as far as rating this tomato in a cherry tomato range, like in its current tomato, cherry tomato, grape tomato range, I'm going to rate this tomato as a number 2. And the only reason why is there's only a couple number 1s that I have for the cherry tomatoes. No spots are filled already, so I can't really name everything number 1. Though I do like this tomato, so I definitely rate this one as a number 2. Would like to rate it as a number 1, but unfortunately those spots are all filled in. And for the yellow tomato, the yellow version of this does rate a little bit lower because it's more of a creamy type of tomato rather than a juicy, munching, you know, snacking tomato. This is better of a snacking tomato. Though the yellow ones are good too, but this one I can't go too much higher than 2. So I'm going to say rate it as number 2. And again, you know, if you've never grown these before, give them a try. I'll leave links in the description below. You can pick up seeds there. And you can't go wrong with these tomatoes, I guarantee it. People will love them, especially the kids. The kids will love these tomatoes. All right, so if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.